Get ready to transition, everybody.
We are there, baby. We there. It's that time, you guys. Say your prayers. You say your prayers. Pray for forgiveness. You gonna need. We have a saying: "This world needs an enema," and it's almost that time. Mario, I'm sorry you won't be able to stay too long with us, my brother.
No, I won't be. It's going to be a special show this morning. We're getting La Machina fired up. Meko Williams' special show, guest hosting today. But, you know, I'll be around. It's hard to explain, but, you know, this is the week of the LPFM application.
Bam.
So I've got to spend my time working on some other things for the LPFM application to get ready for all of that stuff.
Right.
And and Meko's gracious enough to sit in today on last minute notice and be host. So she's got some surprises. So it's going to be that kind of a day, kind of a morning for you. But I'll be around. So we're going to get everything set off, right? We're going to get everything.
I'm ready to set you guys up and let you know what's rolling here because it is a special morning coffee broadcast. Sex, love, and relationships, and also celebrity drama. How does it relate to sex, love, and relationships? You guys ready for Meko? You're not here to see me, right? We already know that.
Well, let me tell you something. I want to get those announcements in.
There we go.
Before I get out of here, you guys.
There we go, man.
Coming this Tuesday, November 12th, indie artist Sarah Day is going to be here on the Morning Coffee Show. And Tuesday night, special pre-show starting at 7 p.m. Robert Glasper, live performance video.
I saw that, man.
Come on and be there at the pre-show Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. It's video, hot video. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And then I'll be followed up by The Quiet Storm, where the theme for this week is chillin' old school style.
Oh, I got you. I'm feeling you rocking the house on that one. And I want to give props to Mac setting up that balanced conversation at the end of your broadcast. You know what, man? You coming to the other side, Mac. You're coming to the other side. You're all ready for this, man.
PMC, Matt McAllister in the house. I'm going to get the show started and I'm going to run in the house.
That's cold. You notice what he's saying?
To get work, I got to work on some other stuff.
That's cold.
Hey, Meko, come on, let me show. I'm going to show Meko some controls.
Meko, go on, Meko.
I got your song, Act Cool, on Channel 1. If you want to turn the volume up on the computer, look, that's your volume up. That's your volume down. See?
Oh, they're playing with toys. They play with toys.
Remember, just because you're going to be winging it tonight, okay? Today. So I got it all ready for you. We're going to turn it over, you guys. Remember now, we get ready for The Quiet Storm tomorrow night. We got that special pre-show. I got some great video, Robert Glasper. Hey, and then next week, I got the same thing for pre-show, only it's going to be Erykah Badu.
Okay, that's dropping.
Best in performance video.
Okay.
Be there, you guys. I'm going to turn this over. Have some fun.
Too much fun.
Yeah, whatever. And then we'll get to.
You know what?
I'm gonna have to do this. You guys have to.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
And you guys notice I got on my Mac McAllister sweatshirt. I got my Mac. So I don't gain weight.
That's cool. It looks like a fashion show, you guys, today. Welcome to Morning Coffee, the special show with Meko Williams. She's running this one today. Mario and I are just playing part-time right now. He does have that tight sweatshirt and that beanie rolling, but at the same time, that's all right. But we have a fashion show going in straight ahead with Meko. Also, is sex in your city, or do you have a little hip-hop in your love? Either one, we're going to find out, right? In the meantime, you know what, Meko? I want you to do one thing. Pose for them. Pose for them.
Jump on over there.
Just get over there and pose for them. Now, you don't know how to...
I'm going to have to pull up my sleeve. You know, for all the ladies, you know, I have to put out the belt sophistication going on.
Oh, look at you.
Hairstyle and the earrings. See? You know, I'm representing all the corporate women with the wild side.
Look at you.
Your girl.
Oh, that is... that's not
you know
right.
what? Yeah, you know, that's the topic of today. You know, what we're talking about, sex, love, and relationships. I mean, we have to go there. Before we get started, I want to also give a shout out to the Pump It Dump It crew and everybody that's on Twitter that's listening to Pump It Dump It on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you know, I wanted to give a shout out to my own show, the Meko Williams Show, which we're doing specially on Morning Coffee with Mario, who's about to get out of Dodge, and also with Victor Allen, who's on the switcher doing his thing, aka Janitor.
Oh, that's
Chocolate
cool.
Drop.
That's
yes.
Cool.
So, this is what I want to do. I want to, show you guys what I'm wearing. First of all, I want to come in and, dress up a little bit more provocative, but I said I'm going to tone it down because I don't want to spoil
Let's do what we came to do.
That's right. That's Mario for you.
Everyone,
he wants to
be cool.
So,
it's hard for you to know because you don't have no headphones.
I can't. I'm just winging it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat room as well, to PMC and Mac, all the people that's listening from Twitter, from Facebook, and also from, Instagram. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming aboard and listening to us. Big Papa Bear in the house, Mario
Why don't
Hensley.
you take over, tell them about the show, and I'll get her settled.
So, I'm going to have a seat real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and get started while we're going to switch it over to Victor Allen. We'll be right back.
Hey, you guys, you know what it's about today. If it's sex, love, and relationships, and we're not going to talk about throwing kisses from Meko to Mac right now. He's on early request archives right now, and we're going to wait for that for a while. This show today is about sex, love, and relationships, but we're going to bring it around and see if there's a bias, a gender bias, because when you have sex in the city, it seems like the women may be getting away with a little bit of extra. Well, you know what? Let me just say it this way. The Sex in the City get a pass because the women act a certain way.
Well, hold on.
Wait a minute. I'm just setting the tone.
Because,
can I set the tone?
Definitely.
Let me hold up. Let me just set the tone. See, this is what's going to happen already. We already met over this, and we talked about Sex and the City, and we actually went through the categories of the women, their characters, the positions, and the roles they play. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but we also are going to get into love and hip-hop, because it seems that there's a base, there's a base of followers.
Yes.
And we talked about why is it so attractive, definitely. And Meko is going to take it from here. So you can set the tone about why you brought the show to us, because I'm going to sit back and just relax. Yeah, put the headphones on. Because I know you don't want to mess up your hair, right?
Oh, no, it's okay. I can't hear nothing in there.
No, don't worry. I can take care of it. Go ahead. Just go ahead. Don't worry about it. Just leave it off your head for the moment.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Well, we're trying to get situated here, and this is a heavy topic because, by the way, welcome to all the new people that's joining us, and actually for all the old listeners as well, for Pac Stereo TV with your host, Meko Williams, today, and also with Victor Allen. So I wanted to say, thank you for coming and showing love and support. Watch out, because we're going to do this, and we're going to go headstrong first. Also, ladies, I know for everyone that's friends of Victor Allen, all the women out there, I want to say, what's her name? Kimberly. And what's the other one name?
Oh, you asking me?
Yes, I forgot her name. The one for Lachelle. Lachelle. I'm going to get them. So,
oh, that's cool.
I said on Facebook that I have, girlfriend, have these toys. Yeah. So we're going to talk about this because we're going to actually address Victor Allen on this, since he got some, gut punching questions. So I got some gut punching toys. Oh. So he's going to have to answer to that, what he would do in regards to the topic, love, sex, and relationships, dealing with the
celebrity drama.
Yes, I'm sorry. And also with love and hip hop.
Yes.
And Sex in the City.
Right.
Now, for all the women out there that's listening, they always want to ask this question. So I'm going to be the daredevil on this end and ask, how come, Caucasian women can get away with that and black women can't? That's something to think about, something to think about. We're going to get back to it. But before we do, we're going to go ahead and get into these topics here. So, Victor, we went over this, we talked about it, and it was interesting because, for all you guys that don't know, it's a lot of people watch Sex in the City, a lot of young generation, I was, to my surprise, that watch Sex in the City. And we have these characters, and, we was thinking about, what is it about these characters that draw social media and everybody to their show? That they're all independent working class women of different types of personality who have their own swag, their own money, their own job, their own cars, and having problem with men. So, Victor, this is an interesting question because it brings us back around to, is this show more about sex or more about the relationship? And is this hit show, Sex in the City, more about relationship through sex or through relationships? So I'm going to go ahead and say for the females, for the women's side, I would say relationship then sex. I would say for the men's side, it's more sex than relationship. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Victor. I mean, you know, you're a guy and all. I mean, I'm sure you had your fair share of women taste of the rainbow.
Well, let me
answer.
All right, let me just say this. I want to give people that haven't followed the show the characters that played in the show, so we can say, why is this show a strange attraction? And is it the sex? Is it the relationships? Or is it the characters they play? So let me just give you the names.
Okay.
All right, here's the names. We got Samantha. This is Sex and the City, you guys. Samantha, Carrie, Charlotte, and Miranda. Now, I asked Meko. Now watch this. I asked Meko.
Wow.
What if you could say one word? Now we're taking this to sex and relationships now. If you can say one word that describes these characters, this is what Meko gave me.
Well, let me go ahead and say what I did say.
Okay.
Yes, you know, Victor think he's slick. You know, yes, I did answer these questions.
Yes, you
did.
did.
Know, and I was very fair, you know, based on what I was talking about, you know. So with Samantha, it was more of describe one word.
Yeah, just give me one
everybody,
word.
Hold on now.
Hold on.
Why describe one word that would actually give a full description of that character on the show. For everybody that's listening, the character on the show. Not the real person, the character on the show. I just had to say that, you know, twice. But for Samantha, I said, you know, sometimes she's looked at as a whore. But at the same time, some people say sex kitten. Now, I can relate to that. Sex kitten. You know, I can relate to that. So, I mean, what you guys think? I mean, type it in the chat room for Mac. You know, what do you think about it if you watch the show and all? And from PMC and LaChula and Cassie, for all the people that's out there listening that's not in the chat room, I'm waiting on you guys. I am waiting on you guys. So, with that being said, is it wrong for me to think that way of her? I mean, that's the kind of thing she's portraying on the show. You know, she's always ready to go. She's very hot. You know, she looks good for her age. Some men call her a MILF. Why? I don't know. I just don't know. She don't have any kids. I don't think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she don't have any kids. Okay. But she look damn good for her age. Damn good. And, you know, for all the women out there that's rocking the new 30, which is 40, and the new 40, which is 50, y'all look good and y'all hold it down on some of this, you know, full figure modeling and, you know, sculpture modeling and stuff like that. The women are holding down. I mean, the older women looking really good. Got the brothers and the younger guys thinking. So, you know, the next person is Carrie. I say Carrie is too clingy. My opinion. I think Carrie is kind of too clingy, you know. And she's always looking for love in all the wrong places. I mean, it's a little romance. She's doing her thing, and she's going through her little revolving door of men and trying to get the right one, but always making the wrong decisions and always getting, you know, rejected at the end. You know, so Carrie, you kind of feel bad for her. You know, you really do. You feel bad for her. Also, Charlotte, I said she comes across as the Southern Belle or the wholesome chick. She just does. In my opinion. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've seen the show, I mean, she's kind of like the Stafford wife, you know, in training. So that's what I said about Carrie. I mean, Charlotte. I'm sorry. And for Miranda, chick got issues. The carrot top hairdo, short board cut, you know, there's nothing wrong with that if you want to wear that look, if you can rock it. But I'm just saying, you know, she got issues, you know. Mm-hmm. She just got issues. And I said she was a nutcase. So, you know, I mean, what you guys think about that? So somebody asked, how old am I? I am 39 right now, and as of November the 21st, coming up next week, I believe, I'll be 40. So, happy birthday to me. Yes.
Happy birthday to you. All right. Okay, now let me get in here from the ignorant point of view for a guy who doesn't watch the show, because I'm not sure if men watch Sex in the City.
Well, hold on. You gotta, when you say men watch, are you talking about straight men, gay men? You gotta kind of let us know what you're saying now, Victor. Go ahead, clear it up.
First of all, I'm only trying to represent the brethren of men. Take it the way you want it.
Oh, ooh.
Okay. So
I'll take it.
You know, we got to be censored here, okay? You need to watch
now,
yourself,
disclaimer
okay?
for everybody that's watching this show, please, it is not suitable for children or minors. Just so you know, because we're going to get into some real bona fide sexual, hot, steamy topic and toys on display. So if you got children that's in there listening, you're babysitting, and you're like a stay-at-home mom, please put them with a nanny or have them go outside in the backyard and play, because this is not for them. It is definitely not for them.
Okay. Now, let me just kind of bring it the way we're trying to bring it.
How are we trying to bring it?
We try to bring it this way.
First of all, you didn't ask my question.
I know. I just. Yeah, okay.
So let's get to that. Yeah.
What do you want me to answer? You got some formula. So you don't want to address
formula? Yeah, it's called milk. Now,
okay.
Do you want to be best friend or not?
Let me just say this. Let me say this. You're just wrong. You're jumping on me. I know you represent the women. That's okay. I can hang, and I can hold my own. I got you. But I'm still going to have people understand why Sex in the City, and that you have these categories of women, which it seems that all the categories were not complimentary until you got to the wholesome one. It seems like they all had issues, right?
Right.
Okay, now here's my point.
Which is what happened in everyday life with women.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that we all don't have issues. We have some type of issues, but, some are just more outside the closet in the box than others.
Okay.
So it's what the men are willing to deal with.
Okay, so let me just say this.
Our baggage.
Is the show Sex in the City more about relationships through sex or sex through relationships? Because I asked you a question
and I said, answered it, and I flipped it right back on you.
Wait a minute. Did you say they were independent women?
They're very much independent women for Sex in the City.
Wait a minute. I'm talking about Sex in the City.
Okay.
Well, this is part one, baby.
Oh, no.
This is part one.
You call me baby? Ooh.
Part one. Part one. All right, part one. Part one is this. Okay. This is how we roll.
Okay.
Are the adventures that you see, or you see the adventures on the show, what stimulates you? The struggle, which they may not be going through a struggle, the goofiness, they're free to do what they want to, that they're getting in the bed with the men first and saying, let me see what they're going to do.
Why, test drive.
Right. So you tell me, what's is the premise of the show to develop the relationship and then go have sex, or have sex and then see what happens?
Victor, I love how you got your black ass out of that question. So before I answer that, we're going to go back to, I said, for women, it's the relationship, then the sex. And for men, it seems to be the sex, then the relationship. Do you not agree?
I say yes, but we're talking about the show.
I know, and that's what you just asked, right? Which is the premise of the show. So you say yes. Why you say yes?
No. I'm saying
no. Why you say yes?
I'm agreeing with you as it relates to what you say. Women are more and men are more. I'm saying when you watch the show, is the show because of its popularity? Because women tend to say, I get my boyfriend, I get married, I get engaged, and then the sex comes after. That's the old school style. Or is the sex part of the
You guys see how he's doing this?
Wait a minute, I'm just saying.
You see how he's doing this?
I'm just saying.
We're going to go back to, first of all, why you think what you think.
Because since I really don't watch the show, and
hold on. I'm asking the wrong question, everyone. Let me rephrase this, Victor. In your past relationships, has it been sex first or relationship first, then sex?
I would say both.
Okay, you got to pick one.
So I have to pick one for
Come
the
on, hey, you make us pick one, so pick one.
Let me say, I'm an animal, right?
Okay, so am I. So,
all right, I'm an animal. Now, just because I'm an animal doesn't mean I'm one-dimensional. So if you want to try to pigeonhole me into one style, just you can fortify your friends and have your girls ride or die and say, get him, it ain't happening.
Already did. Thank you. You had a trigger just now.
No, I'm not.
Raise your hand up some more.
Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me.
Crunch. Anywho, we doing this. So back to your regular program. What was you saying again?
I was asking the question because remember, there's guys who don't watch the show regularly.
Ask. Yeah. Not ask.
You know what? You're on a mission today, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I see. All right. I got you on this one. I got you. You know what? Let me roll back a little bit.
Let me
puff up my collar.
You got to flip them up?
I got to flip them up.
Pop them. Right. I got some too.
I know you do. Okay, here's
I can open this up. You want to see? Oh, okay. Yeah, got you. Now, focus. Don't stray. Focus.
So you have to go bring out
the weapon.
The weapon. Okay, let me do it. She got the weapon, but I am clear about one thing. And I'm saying this for a reason. I'm saying that men, we are animals. We are led by the aesthetic. We know that. We understand that. And the relationships are probably through the animalistic behavior. We attack. We want to get your body. We want to get with you. We know that. I'm saying, is Sex in the City one of those shows where there's the freedom of the women to experiment through sex and then develop the relationships. That's the show premise. It's either yes or no.
Yes or no. It's yes.
So there is a show where women get to act in a way that men get categorized differently. I know. I'm waiting for you on this one. I want you to bring it. That's right. And ask you.
You know what? And to go back to what you said about what is it about the show that makes everyone want to watch either the show, the premise of the show, or the characters, it is because they're acting very liberal, very liberated. You know, they get to do what they want, how they want, no consequences too much, you know, but yes, they get to wild out, experience, not be held totally accountable for their actions, you know, pretty much have a little taste of what the men do on a daily basis that women tend to get judged on, you know, called names and, you know, degrade, you know, just all of those things that we don't want to see you guys do unless it's behind closed doors. So, Victor, did I answer your question or not?
Yes, you did. Now, let me say this. I want to make sure we recognize the chat room, because my job is also to communicate with them.
Yes, and I'm looking back and forth with the chat room. I see PMC and Mac going at it, trying to throw a little monkey wrench in there. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I would like to ask PMC, before he got married, you know, was it the sex first in the relationship or the relationship in the sex? And also with Mac, I would just pass because you don't have a relationship at this moment. So we know you're working on it. So it would automatically be sex first in relationship. So let me, because, you know, as you get older, you don't have time to play.
Okay,
right?
Let me say this. So you blasting people right now, right?
Oh, that's okay. You know,
let me just say this.
Blast me.
Let me say this. PMC is in the safe boat. Dare he not say it was sex first?
Right, because his wife is right there. Right. Exactly. So hi, sweetie.
We may not get the true answer, and we probably never will.
Well, you know, on Facebook, I did post that this is a grown and sexy adults, and it is going to be real talk, okay, with sex and relationship and love. Now, if you have a spouse that's kind of like, I wish you would.
Okay.
I feel sorry for you, but if it's guy code, I would love to be the fly on the wall. Definitely that. And for the women, I know you guys feel the same way. If we could just hear what they're saying in the man cave, we'd be amazed that they won't answer us in the same fashion. They won't.
Is this show about pointing to the all sides of the Sex and the City show, or is this about you venturing off into what men do versus women? It seems like
this is a gender-based type of thing because, you know, you did ask the question, and, you know, that has to do with sex and relationships. So, without either gender, we won't have a relationship, right?
Okay. Well, I got one for you because it's true. No,
okay,
you're right. You're right.
You know, he tried to go there, but I had to bring him here.
Yeah, let's do this. Mm-hmm. We made a promise yesterday that we would not make this the male versus the female show.
It is always that.
So here
no matter how you couch it, it is always that.
So you're breaking promises right now.
I didn't break a promise.
Did you not go over the show?
I didn't promise you nothing.
Okay, let me just say this. When we start talking about Sex in the City,
are you getting off subject?
Yes, I am.
We got to bring you back. So we're gonna go right ahead into love and hip hop.
Wait a minute.
You know, no, wait on you. So look, this is before we get into love and hip hop. You know, we wanna find for the women which character best defines you in Sex in the City. Is it Samantha, the sex kitten? Is it Carrie, the clingy one? Is it Charlotte, the wholesome chick, or is it Miranda, the nutcase? Now, I did go back and do a little bit of research because there are some things that I found out per show about each character on the show. And it was kind of different because, you know, everyone was trying to figure out with these women, they're older. None of them are really young. So is it more of the older women that's acting out and wilding out and doing all these things? You know, because when you look at love and hip hop, which is the second part of the show that we're going to compare it to, there are younger women and they're wilding out in a total different way, supposed to Sex in the City where it's, you know, I got my independence, you know, and everything else good on paper and off, but I'm lacking one thing, a man. Interesting. Oh, look at Victor now.
I'm not saying anything because I want to be able to ask questions about Sex in the City that I haven't got addressed yet.
Well, let's do that.
And I want to be able to tell Meko, Mac, as I was asking you questions, said, answer the question. So he was waiting for you to answer the question since you avoided my question too.
Okay, so let's go back.
So
rewind.
All right.
Okay.
Which character See, I always say all women. You guys understand?
All
women and men. We relate to
go.
a character in a show most of the time. So, of course, I want to ask Meko, if she had to pull one of the 4 characters in Sex and the City that best or close defines a role she could play, which person would that be?
Since you asked that question, did you get a full view, Mac? Because that's where I'm facing all that at. It would be the sex kitten.
Yeah. Oh, so are you saying that's
You
how?
got it?
Is that how? Okay, this is only for adults only. Okay, so you're saying you're the sex kitten.
Oh, definitely. No shame in my game.
Okay, so what you're saying
Well,
is...
you know, Samantha is per description of the show.
Right.
By the producers and the directors, not sex kitten, even though I call her that. It's more of the seductress, you know, that seduce men. That's the clean way of saying sex kitten, or, you know,
it's
the
a
other word.
It's a
nicer
term.
way.
It's a nice term.
But we all know what it means.
Okay.
In hindsight, we all know what it means.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So I think I'm a combination of Carrie,
clingy,
Samantha,
sex kitten.
Yeah, about them two.
Those two.
Yeah.
So you're a clingy,
I'm in between.
You're a clingy sex kitten.
Yeah, clingy sex kitten.
Now,
when it's with the person I want to be with, yeah, clingy.
Okay.
Not smothering, not that clinginess. You're not that much, but I am clingy. You know, I love hard. I'm giving 102% instead of 100%. You know, and like on my Facebook yesterday, not to go off, but it does have to tie into this. I threw a question up there, and it had to, you know, do with if a man is called a horn dog, if a woman wants more sex than the men, and that's her way of expressing herself, not really going outside all angles of being just wilding out, what would she be considered? Now, this has to tie into.
We have. Thank you for asking that question, because I was trying to get there, but she's not letting me get there. Okay, same here. Question
How
is,
many minutes?
No, is the sex kitten character a hoe?
Who?
Okay, now let me do this.
Well, she could be very promiscuous.
Now this
She can be very promiscuous, but at the same time, just because you're a sex kitten don't mean that you have to be a hoe. You could be a sex kitten with one person, which brings us to nympho, not nymphomaniac, nympho. So a lot of people get that term confused. They think when you hear that, it's a sickness. They think that if you're a sex kitten, you have to be out with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. No, you don't. You could be with that person.
So what you're saying is that when women...
Oh, no, y'all didn't.
Wait a minute.
Come on, answer.
Hey, wait a minute.
Y'all doing me this way. You see these jokers over here? And
No, wait a minute.
Ooh, I tell you, child.
Okay. First of all, I agree with you as it relates to the terminology that's conditional. But really what you're saying, a sex...
Society makes it that way.
Right. But the show, because I'm keeping it with sex and relationships.
Right.
On the show.
Right.
And the show, are the women having sex before they are actually couples?
Yes.
Okay, so when men do that, what do we call? I want you guys to understand.
Well, no, this is a question that we were going back and forth, and usually when a woman is actually, you know, trying on different pair of shoes, like she's at a shoe shop, which are the men, she is considered a hoe. Called a hoe, roundaway girl. She's called streetwise for old term, or streetwalker for old term. You know, slut, whatever you want to call it. She's called all these names. Now, when the men do it, it's like Tarzan, beat your chest, and it's because it's the masculine thing. It's the thing to do. It's the notches you put underneath your belt. But the minute that women do it, oh, it's a problem.
Well, you got a question from the chat room.
Yes, Meko,
PMC
what do you
said,
consider a freak?
Oh, that.
Well, they come in different levels, and if I take the time to explain all the different levels to you, it's going to be a longer show than I expected. So I'll just send you the link.
Also, the next question is, explain nympho versus nymphomaniac.
I see you throwing my own stuff at me.
Those questions come from the chat room. I'm just a facilitator. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
Well, nympho is for a woman who has strong desire, sexual desires, and very highly sexually active. That's the nympho. Nymphomaniac would be the long version of that word, except for there's conditions that are actually put in place with that as far as a sickness, and they don't care where they get it from, where it's coming from, how they're getting it, public or not, private or not. They have to have it. You know, like the show, what's that movie? She Gotta Have It.
Right.
Yeah. You know, but she was more of a nympho. She wasn't a nymphomaniac. But it's a sickness that they can't control, and they have to take medication to control it. And sometimes people will kind of tie that in with people who are child molesters that actually are nymphomaniacs into animal bestiality, which you see on porn sites or actually on YouTube. So that's the difference. So I would be considered a nympho, but not a nymphomaniac, since you want to know.
So to clarify that, you're
Yes.
saying one-on-one. You're saying
101, yes.
101. Okay,
Yes.
so
I mean, and a lot of people don't understand when they hear
Right.
the word nympho, they immediately associate it with, because it's been put out there by social media that nymphos are OPP.
Right.
Other people's property.
Right.
They like to jump around, bed hoppers, and orgies, and I could say what's the difference between swingers and nymphos based
Gotcha.
on social media's definition, not Webster. But you could be a nympho with one person, in a relationship being exclusive, which that's me, so.
Now, I wanted to ask this last question, because, I mean, we have two topics. We have a 90-minute show,
Yes.
45 minutes for this one. We still got time.
Thank you for the question.
We have some time on this.
Yes, we do.
And I do have an announcement that I will come in after this topic, and just to guide you guys here locally in the LA area of a special event that's going down. But to follow this, I asked Meko, I said, Meko, when women are promiscuous, just like men are promiscuous, the first thing to consider is a hoe, right?
Right.
Now, when women may be confused with the term, they may say, oh, she's a sex kitten, not know what it means.
Right.
Or nympho and not know what it means.
Right.
But when men do it, you're just a hoe or you're a dog. We don't get no other considerations, right?
Hold on, because that, like I said on Facebook yesterday, that was one of the topics. I mean, one of the things that we were actually talking about, how if men are out there being what you call dogs, is there a specific term that they use that a lot of people are not accustomed to hearing? And yes, we call it horn dog or a cockhound, so.
Not complimentary.
Not complimentary, no. But if you look it up, it means a man with a very strong sexual appetite.
Right.
So if he's out there hopping around on booty sites on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these other places trying to hook up with women just to get his rocks off,
Right.
then, I mean, they would call it a gigolo.
For those of you who do not understand rocks off, follow this show later. We'll send out what we call descriptions and analogies.
Exactly.
So it's my question. So what I'm saying, when sex and relationship, if men were in the role of playing what the women do on the show, and they just simply said, here's 4 men in the same roles, would the show be conducive to women thinking they're nothing but hoes just testing the waters? Think about it now.
A certain group of women would think that. We don't want to see that, because we long for the guy who is about us and to us only, and not doing the salesman knock at the door. You keep knocking until you get a yes. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to see that.
Right. Now let me ask you. Now, here's a question for the men. Okay. What is the strong attraction you believe for the men watching Sex in the City versus the women?
Well, it's interesting. Too bad we don't have a pickup for that. But, you will actually get to see the women. A lot of legs being shown, a lot of skin. You don't hear them bitching too much.
They are happy?
They're most of the time
Confused?
happy.
Confused?
Yes, confused. They're there to have fun.
Right.
In the midst of trying to find Mr. Right. So it's not your typical on the street, talk to me and I get rejected type of thing. You could watch someone else go through their own drama instead of you living your own drama. So yeah.
Okay, so why would men really want to watch the shows? Because of the legs and the skin. We don't want to. What you're saying is the freakier
well, you
they
guys
look.
are visual. You're more visual. We talked about this. Guys are more visual, and we are more mental with it.
Are the women dressed to the nines or dressed in a
There
way?
is fashion statements that are made. Carrie has a little bit off the wall fashion statement. But no disrespect to the fashion district and fashion world. She rocks it. She sets her own trend. Miranda, she just the corporate type with the fashion. And like I said, for Charlotte, it's very wholesome. It's the good girl that wants to go bad but hasn't. And for Samantha, I'm your ride or die chick. I'll do whatever you want. Just tell me when, where, how, and I'll do it.
You like the ride or die chick?
Hey, don't you?
Of course, I would never put myself in a position to get blasted for saying it wrong. I'm politically correct.
Correct. You know what? You sound like a clicker.
That's okay. All right, now you know what. Now I want to make sure if Meko, you're running this.
Yeah,
let
definitely.
Me know. You let me know when the show
Well,
when this segment is done because I have to do a plug.
Right.
So let me know.
So
I have other questions on the chat room, but
yeah, I mean, we could go ahead and address the chat room. People say, "Show us your toys, Meko." That will be coming down that lane, Mac, in a few. So hold your horses.
What's the difference? You want me to tell you what else?
Actually, you could go ahead and read that. This is
because there's a couple that you didn't catch.
No.
They say, what, Meko, what is the difference between good sex and bad sex?
Wow. You don't know? I see where you're going with this.
I know.
It's the same way of saying what's the difference between great sex and good sex. One you go back and one is do now, like a now later. You want it for now or later. And it depends on if it's great sex, you want it all the time. All the time. If it's good sex, it's only good with the person you're with and how much they put into it. So that's the difference. Mac, I wonder if you had great or good sex or bad sex.
You had that conversation with Mac on your own. He
addressed it. I did. He can type it in chat room. Feel free. I like to know about that. But bad sex is just bad sex. They didn't move right. The position is just totally turn off. Can't last long. Most women complain that bad sex is men who ejaculate too quick. 2-minute pumper. 3-minute pumper. There
is a thing. There are women who actually like short minutes, and they are pleased by that. So sometimes you got to be careful of
That's true, but we're talking about majority rules. Yeah. So majority rules. So it's only a small percentage of those type of women that's like a pinch.
Small?
That might like that. And the only reason why they would like that is because time is essence and they don't have that much time to kill. So they'd rather you get on top, do what you do, and up and out.
Wonder if they're the ones who say, no, this is not about you hurry up and getting out. It's about me getting to the rush as fast as possible.
That's like door cell batteries. Get it and
but wait a minute. Remember,
it's about how many watts.
It's about selective desires.
True.
And we can't paint a picture because the general nation likes to always put out the terminology of the longer is the better.
Not necessarily true. The longer is the better, and the shorter is the better is not actually true neither.
See?
So it depends on where you at in your life, how old you are, and how much time you got to give or spend with that particular person and what destination you're trying to get to with it. So that will answer everyone in social a certain way. So,
Mac is not right. I'm sorry. I apologize. We are interactive. We do listen to the chat room. He's having a conversation with PMC.
Right, that's okay.
And PMC says nothing like a quickie. Mac says true PMC first and the 15th if you are married.
Wow. That lets us know what he dates and how he rolls. Anywho, continuing on, we got to help Mac out.
Okay.
PMC is already locked down, so,
I would like to go on and do that announcement if I can.
Yes, definitely. Let's go ahead and do that announcement.
Yeah, I'll do the announcement. You can.
Let me see here.
Are we also just letting you guys know? Meko's about to set you up with what they call a love and hip hop, and trying to compare what makes this one roll. Now, hold on a second. Watch this. When you go down at the bottom, I'm gonna show Meko something because she's doing Control Center, which makes it really, really tight. Now, watch this, you guys. Now, tell them a little bit about Love and Hip Hop as I get ready to show you where to display this next announcement.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Well, with Love and Hip Hop, we talked about, and everybody knows about Love and Hip Hop and how everything is happening on there. And like I said, Sex and the City has to be the older women and what they're doing. Love and Hip Hop seems to be the younger women, and I say nothing over 40, mostly in their 30s and 20s at the least. And with Love and Hip Hop, everybody's familiar with most of the characters on there: K. Michelle, Erica Mena, and also Yandy and Tahiri, you know, who are very popular on those shows for per season episode. And with them, the question we were trying to figure out is, for Love and Hip Hop, what drives women to love the hip hop? Is it the fast cars, the money, the music, you know, the publicity, you know, the fame? What is it that these younger women are going after that the older women don't seem to much care about, because they have their own independent? These women here seem to be somewhat codependent, not as much as independent until after they get the ring on the finger.
Very good. Very good. I like that. Okay, good. Now, I got an announcement, you guys, because this announcement is tied in to love, sex, and relationship in a different way. Ooh. If you're in the local Los Angeles area, we have somebody of a noteworthy background doing a book signing.
True.
And I want to be able to tell you guys who he is, what's it about, quickly here, and then tie it to what Meko was talking about with Love and Hip Hop. She's going to see the correlation. It's going to be really interesting.
Yes, and also if I go ahead and mention his name.
Sure.
If that's okay. Yeah. You know, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's going to be supporting Chef Jeff Henderson.
There you go.
That's going to be out there, and you can give the location of where his book signing is going to be to all his managers, his agency, the publishing company, his support team, everybody on staff with him to make it happen. You know, congratulations and thank you.
Very good. Chef Jeff, okay, if you guys are familiar with Eswan Books, it's over in Leimert Park. It's actually several blocks away from the studio,
sure
so
is.
It's really local. So we want to give big ups to Eswan Books. Tonight, 7 p.m., book signing. And along with Chef Jeff, Tavis Smiley will be in the house as well. So all of you guys who like the intelligence, the book writing, the power, the swag,
and the mental stimulation.
Oh, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. And let me give you more information now, just so you get a little background about him. Now, with his new book, If You Can See It, You Can Be It, is part 2 of his life story. Chef Jeff gives the readers 12 street smart strategies for success.
And it's very, very well written. I loved it. I read it and I liked it. I'm very surprised at the intro of the book and how he actually got started. Childhood versus up to this point of success. So I think it's really good that you guys go out and support him there, you know, and meet this brother and see what's up, you know, because he got a lot going.
And also, just to add to that, Hollywood A-lister believes in him as he's purchased the film rights to his life story. So we're talking about somebody here who's making some inroads here, and I'm talking about gigantic milestone steps. We want to recognize, we actually wish we could have had him on the show. It would have been perfect. But it leads me to this question that we're going to get into real shortly, that why are we announcing this book, not only because of the success of this individual, Tavis Smiley and his enterprises?
Well, not only that, food is a very big part of sex, love, and relationships, because, you know, when you're dealing with food, you're dealing with aphrodisiac, and also, you know, when you take someone
out... What was that word again?
You heard me. Aphrodisiac.
There you go.
Don't try to play me.
Well, you got me, right?
So, yes.
Yes, you did.
And thank you. So back to what I was saying, you know, when you take people out to dinner, sometimes food plays a part in the sex role of intimacy. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about without getting too detailed about it. You know, like whipped creams and strawberries. What you say about that, Victor?
I'm saying that if being a chef gets you to the promised land, maybe I need to change my career and write a book.
Well, you know, you like to stick to fruit, so that'll work.
Oh, what are you trying? Okay, what are you trying to say?
You said low fruit.
Oh, wait, what are you saying? I said that if being into food and being a chef of foods, of course, it's an aphrodisiac in some circles, right? Would it be better for men to get more into the kitchen and do things on the grill for the women that they're trying to impress?
You know, that is sexy, to see a man actually get in the kitchen and do his thing and kind of tailor to the women, you know, be very attentive when it comes to the food, because, you know, we know women get in the kitchen and we put a lot of love into our food because we want to watch you eat it, the way you eat it, how you place it in your mouth, what you do with it.
Okay.
Some women like to get off on that. but to have a guy do it and he put all his love into the seasoning, that's kind of a little bit of a turn on, I would say. I've heard women in different groups that say they like that.
Let me do this.
Especially if he's butt naked with an apron on. Male apron, not female apron. Exactly. You stuck? You okay?
Okay. Let me say this.
Okay.
Let me give shouts out to Chef Jeff. If you guys want to be reminded, if you can see it, you can be it. All right, that's all you can have to say. Now, the apron and the butt nakedness, that's a Meko Williams moment.
Well, it does tie in, with food.
Nice.
I'm sure if he's married, I'm sure he's played his role with his skills of cooking and so on, preparing the food and with his woman. And
you were fortunate enough to read the book, so you have some insight on it.
Yes, I do.
That made you actually say, hey, look, this man has got something.
Yes, he does.
And he's successful already.
And a nice smile will go along with it. And he's standing behind one of those old-fashioned hot stoves, too, with a couple of, knobs on them. He can do some things.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, hey, for you guys. Hope some of you guys can be out there. Chef Jeff, 7 p.m., S1 Books in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. Be there. I think you can roll with it. Max said, what about a hoe who can't? And he left the rest to be
censored. Okay, that sounds like a PP, so we're going to pass that.
There you go. See, I just want to address the chat room.
Right.
Gets the right to ask.
Yes.
Yeah, but it can't
I would say, why even go that route? Unless you are in the mode of teaching. Which is the mentor. If you have that type of mindset where you want some young hot thing or a teeny bopper and you want to teach her how to cook and actually learn how to move in certain ways that you wish reminiscing on your old partner, that's up to you. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm all ready now because since we took the conservative side, because I believe Sex in the City is a little bit conservative for me.
On some things it is. On some, they have a couple of wild streaks going on. Now we're moving into the second part of our show.
I think this is her favorite, right?
My favorite?
Yes.
I like both.
Okay.
So there's no favorite going on. I like both.
All right.
I equally like both. So with Love and Hip Hop, as I described the women, Victor, you kind of know a little bit about the women. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite on there, and why would you watch it?
Well,
based on looks, swag, and their mouths.
Well, first of all, men are different. If we go by looks, you're gonna say K. Michelle. You're gonna go there, right?
I didn't say that. I'm asking you.
Right, and the favor, because for me, I would say Tahiri hits people a lot. It's going to hit.
Now, if you are a butt man, it would be Tahiri or K. Michelle. Right. Now, if you're talking about total package.
Yeah, we hear about total packages.
Okay, what would be considered total package?
Well,
before we get into the other part of the show.
Well, I'm going to say this. A total package may include all these other tangibles. For example, I can give you the answer when we give you the one-word descriptions.
The
one-word description. And I'll say this. The one-word descriptions. And I'll let you guess which one I picked from the one-word description because I already know the answer.
Duh. Okay, you're the one saying it.
Right.
You would know the answer. Exactly.
Right.
Duh.
So let me do this. Let me give you the what. Can I give you? Are you rolling your eyes on this show?
No, sir. Okay. Never.
Are you running this?
Yes, you are. I am. I'm running this bitch. Now go.
Okay. I'm in my spot. Okay. Here's what we go with. All right. We said K. Michelle is a hard case. Men don't like hard cases unless you really are turned on by the hard case. They got a body that's unbelievable.
Well, let's go ahead and help Victor out here. Now, what he did forget to do is tell you, based on a description of each woman, he had me to define in my own words.
That's true.
What I felt about the women, how they are classified as far as personality type in social media.
Right.
And I said that, I like K. Michelle, but in the beginning, K. Michelle did come across like a hothead, very mouthy, very hard, just very hard, demeanor and, a nutcase. and she came off very hard case. A lot of people didn't want to really rock with her or mess with her because they couldn't get through to her to make her do certain things. She had to always prove. And K. Michelle, if you're listening to this, I understand why. But sometimes that wears off and you have to move past that, which was actually addressed in one of the previous shows. And I'm glad she did that because she took a stance and she stood her grounds. And I do apologize and feel sorry for the ass whooping you got from dude. Not my thing. I say if self-defense, you have to defend yourself, but at the same time, based on what happened and what she displayed in the show and her story, I don't condone abuse of whatsoever. But at the same time, people have to understand if they listen to her story, that's kind of made her the hard case to work with. So she got the body, she got the pipes, she got the looks.
Right.
So if that's considered a hard case, is that going to be what men latch on to because of the physical look?
It can
but
be.
The mental is not always what they want to deal with when it comes to her.
Right. It can be. That's why I said it all depends. I mean, everybody goes. Some people are not okay. A lot of people can be conservative. Some people are in the closet with not talking about what they like, strange attractions.
Right.
So I'm not here to step on. I'm just saying if she's a hard case, that may be a market out there for a lot of people to say, I like that type of woman.
You know what? Women that are either aggressive or they mistaken the assertiveness for aggressiveness.
Right.
And she's just, I'm not taking nobody's shit. That's just her thing based on what she had to go through in her past experience. So I could relate to that. But at the same time, if you look at Tahiri is a good girl when bad, and she also been through some, not physical abuse, more of the mental abuse, dealing with Joe Button, who everybody's in the chat room, talking about.
Right.
And beautiful girl, nice body. Like I said, if you're a butt man, she has all the lower parts rocking, heavy.
Right.
And she's, light at the top, beautiful face. But she's holding on to Joe Button. And, I said that she was a bitter recovery. That was the personality, bitter recovery, because she holds Joe Button responsible for everything that's going on in her life up to this point.
Okay.
But she's still going back dealing with him.
Okay, and let me say this, to fill in the other two categories for the individual, we had Yandy, who was a ride or die.
Right. I said she's a ride or die chick because of her situation dealing with, you would think with her level of class, seemed to be more the business savvy, hands on, that the gentleman that she actually got into with in the bed and had a child and actually married is now in penitentiary. And she's not leaving. She's sticking it out. She's staying there based on the story and what's being displayed on the show. She is staying there. She said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to hold it down for you, baby, and until you get out, and then you can pick up where you left off. Ride or die chick.
Got you. And then, of course, Erica is
Minna.
Hothead and bitter. Hothead and bitter.
Hothead and bitter.
That's right.
Yikes.
Okay. Now.
Beautiful, very gorgeous. Mouth is, she spills like diarrhea, very potty. She's quick to tell you where to go with it, and she just needs to chill out, take a chill pill, and figure out what direction she's going to go in, but she too also been used and used up, and she has a little bit of bitterness in her as well, because with what the show displayed, she actually went out there, young girl being gullible, full of what and dumb as what, and got out there and got mixed up, and then all of a sudden she's baby mama and trying to make it, and she feels that she gotta get her hustle on, and for every guy that she come across, they're gonna pay for the last one's mistake.
So now it gets back to the question of who do you pick? And I said,
well, not only that, who did you pick? Remember, before we get to that, we actually thought about the question, why do hip-hop bad boys want to flip these good girls? Because at some point these were good women.
Right. So as a show progresses, yes, of course you are. As the show progresses, we end up picking who we still would want. As it evolves, you actually change lanes too. So
True.
Is it, I'm gonna say it this way.
All right.
Ride or die is Yandy.
Yandy, yes.
Ride or die. Now let me say this, the other part about it is we always want to go after things we can't control. So let's just say who's the most popular on the show that you want to control, and who would that be?
K. Michelle.
There you go. And who's getting the most trends? And bam,
K.
it's between
Michelle.
K. Michelle and Tahiri, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
the show itself, in relating to sex, and remember, every guy.
And you see more of them
Right.
with the, and both of them has what drive a lot of men crazy.
So
and just, men are animals, like you said, Victor. And usually when men want to control something, they
Right.
go after it.
So now it gets me to this part that we're all building up to slowly, that Meko already set up.
Hey.
I'm just kind of
It is what it
impatient.
is.
I'm kind of impatient for it. It's the part when they say you're watching the show not because of the niceties. You're watching the show because you're saying Love and Hip Hop, the men flipped them. Did the men flip them?
They flipped them.
They flipped them.
And us women know what it's like when the man flip you. We do.
Yeah, right. So why do women stick in when they go, that man has flipped me and got me running around in circles? Why is the show so attractive? Why are women just going,
Because
I
we
got to
like,
have it?
as much as you guys like to chase us, as much as you guys like the hunt, and as much as you guys like to put it out there and dominate, at some point that is attractive. To see a guy go through all the hoops, ring of fires, what have you, and actually try to put you in your place. Now, all women of all type know exactly what I mean when I say put you in your place. And I'm not talking about the ones that you can run over and you can talk to any old kind of way and stick your finger up in their forehead. No. Not the ones who would abuse you. Oh, no, not those. But he look at you out of one eye, give you that look. You see the bottom of his jawline, go back and forth, lip all poked out, and he can just, with a deep voice, put you in your place. You know exactly what I mean. And he ain't playing. That's sexy.
Which leads to the questions.
Well, we like to try to push buttons as women. I will admit that, yes.
Okay.
But the thing is, we want to be able to push your buttons and know how far we can go. But we don't want you to give us the same treatment as the next one on the street corner. Or you go upside our head or get acting a fool as you would with the next one. We want to know how far we can go with you and what buttons that are pushable and the ones that are not.
I have a couple of questions for you.
Go right ahead.
I know you was getting into your dissertation,
Ah.
and I know you enjoyed that. Couple of things. One is, and don't answer the questions yet. Let me say it. One is, what drives men crazy, Meko? Of course, the one that you don't have to deal with is that one more so than, have you ever been flipped, Meko? Yes or no?
Last night, yes.
Oh! Okay, let me go on.
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, hey, look, I'm sitting up here going like,
I was shocked, but I didn't go bad.
oh my God, oh my
Yes,
God. All
last
right.
night.
You know
You
what?
wanna-
I don't want to even
elaborate on
I
that?
don't want to touch that because
You touched it already.
they touched it.
No, you touched the question. You put it out there, so
I
I
plead the
just
fifth.
don't plead the fifth. No, we gonna talk about this because you went there. See, now I got your ass where I want you.
Wait.
So now that you want to say that and kind of back up and do
But
the hit below the belt, let's go.
They asked the question.
Oh, they answered.
They asked the question.
But you.
They asked the question.
So, okay.
Now wait a minute. I didn't finish the questions.
Okay. See, they said speak up, Vic. See, now they putting it back on you. So now y'all pointing fingers because we can go there. Wait.
We can
go there.
I was on my knees
You see
in
this?
prayer. No.
Yeah, you be on your knees, all right, and you gonna have a lot of praying to do.
Oh wow!
So let's go.
See, I love swag. Now this
Exactly.
is why. Now wait a minute. Let me just say this. This is the part that
You getting
relates.
off the question,
I'm not-
and so
I did say that.
I did.
I
You sound like a
did.
little kid that got his ass whooped. Now, Victor, go ahead and answer the question. Don't point the because they
Well,
pointed back at you.
What was the question again?
You heard me.
What was the question
You
again?
said you asked me about being flipped.
They said,
now
have you
next
been-
time you could
They
say
don't-
from the chat room,
That's what they asked.
but you asked as if you were answering for yourself, asking for yourself.
See, this is the
pay
part
attention.
that's terrible.
Pay
I actually
attention.
quoted and said I have several questions to
Yes.
ask, and I went the first one. Now you're trying to get me.
You should have said from the chat room. Then I know to address the chat room on that and not you directly.
I
right?
can't wait till we get to the toys. But anyway, let me
Oh,
go to
then
the
hold
next
up
question.
then. We can
wait
go
a minute,
there.
wait a minute. Vic
We
is
can-
babbling. Let me go. Biggest backstepper.
You see, I had to roll up my sleeves, ladies, because Vic does that, for all of your friends, female friends that are watching this show and that know how you roll. Yeah, I know they would love to be sitting in this seat to just get at you like that. Because,
first of all,
oh, definitely.
I have only one.
Wait, do I see a trigger?
One. I only have one female fan.
You biting your lip. You okay?
I'm fine. I control the cameras.
You need a pill?
Yeah, I need more than that.
Pacifier?
I'm unrolling myself into the rubber
you need
room.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Special. That was definitely a trigger.
No.
Ladies, that's not attractive when a guy say roll himself into a rubber room. Because all I can think of is a straight jacket, white. A lot of wall padding. He drooling at the mouth, trying to figure out if he, still a fetus or not. So that's not cute. That is not cute.
No, can I still ask the question about love and
go
hip hop?
right ahead.
Thank you so much. So since you're
Licking
controlling,
his lips, I'm on the right track now.
You know what? You're wrong.
Yeah,
all right, so
right.
here we go. If love and hip hop, they had a premise was a bad.